Hey there, Stampers. It's Christy here from the Stamp Cycle, and for my video today, I have a review of the new layering framelits that are in the new catalog, and I'm going to be comparing those to the old framelits that we used to have that are now retiring. The old framelits are still available until May 31st, and then we move to the new catalog on June 1st, and those will no longer be available. And then we're moving to these new layering framelits. So they come in squares, circles, hearts, and ovals, I do believe. It's getting pretty close to the release of the catalog, so I'm going to be extra naughty today, and I'm actually going to show you these framelits on in the catalog here. So they are on page 93 when you get your catalog. You can see them here. So there are squares, circles, ovals, and hearts. So these are all the layering framelits that are going to be available in the new catalog. When I first saw these, I was a little unsure whether I would want them and use them because I already had all of the shapes of the old style framelits. And so I thought, well, do I really need those? So in my pre-order, I ordered the squares to test it out and to see what I think. So first, let me just kind of, I'll compare the two, and then kind of show you why these are really cool. And I'm probably going to get all the other shapes as well. So if you remember the old framelits, they came like this. So you had one set for each shape, and they usually had a scallop die that was the largest die option, and then you had all these others that nestled in right against each other. And when you cut the two dies that were directly next to each other, they gave you a pretty large layer, if you will, in between the two. And it all, it was nice to use these to layer. The difference with these is, when I first got these are the layering square framelits. Just to kind of digress here for a minute, you can see I have these on a magnetic sheet. I haven't put these on a magnetic sheet yet, but these already have laid out on the magnetic sheet. And this is exactly how it comes when you pull it out. It looks just like that on this paper that it usually comes with. All right, so back to the dies. So they come like this, and when I first opened it, I was a little confused. I'll have to admit, I had a blonde moment, and I was like, why did they give me two of the same die? But if you look closely, they're not the same. And this is where these are really, really cool dies, and they layer awesomely. So I'm going to put these to the side, and I have die cut out of cardstock, just some scrap cardstock, all of these dies to just show you how neat they work together. So looking at these dies up here, I've cut them all out here, and you can see that, within themselves, if you just use the dies in this square grouping, they layer quite nicely. So you get a really nice layer, and they give you quite a bit of a border. But if you combine these with the additional kind of scallop squares that you see here, you get some really awesome layering. And I've cut those out as well. And look how close these layers get. And it really gives you that really nice peak of a border on things that, we do this a lot when making cards. We usually use 1/8 of an inch border around our different layers, and it gives just a peak of color and gives a really nice look. And these are perfect for doing that. So I'm just going to stack them all up here and just show you. I mean, you could really go crazy with your layering here. And they even have these little tiny little layers. So you see how well they all layer together. So this is why they're called layering dies. Really cool. I regret my initial impression where I really was confused and didn't Didn't quite get it, but now I get it now that I've cut them all out and I've seen just how great they layer. So these are the scallops. And then these are the squares. So there's 19 dies. The squares that don't have the scallops, there is a group of 5 and then a group of 4. And these layer in the exact same way as the scallops did. They layer right on top of each other, giving you that really nice 1/8 of an inch border. But remember, if you wanted more of a border, you could just use the dies within each square here, and this will give you more of, that's about maybe 1/4 of an inch border. So you have a lot of options with these layering dies, and I can see why these are definitely a great thing to add to your stash of stamping supplies. There's definitely still a lot of use for these, so if you don't have these framelits yet, you might want to get out there and get them before they retire. But these are a great new refresh to our framelits, and I'm excited to have them. Can't wait to try out the circles, the ovals, and the hearts, because I have a feeling I'm going to be using these a lot more than you see I used these. I have to be honest, I haven't even used these yet. Eek. But these are great. So hopefully this helps you in deciding on whether you want to purchase some of these layering dies or not. All right, thanks guys for stopping by, and I'll be back soon with another video.